These last few months, I've ran into so many challenges and problems and issues in SoulForge when developing it. I've been meaning to make this devlog for the last like 2 months, maybe more, but I haven't really found the time to actually just sit down and chat with you guys. I haven't been able to really plan much, so I think I'm just gonna chat with you guys a little bit as if we're, just chatting one on one. I want to share some problems I had with SoulForge and how I went about solving them and how I'm gonna move forward. By the way, it's literally like 6 a.m. right now. I gotta go to school in like an hour, so it's a rough morning. One of my biggest things these last like month, especially, my brain has just been like a giant mess. I feel like a lot of you guys can probably relate to this. Like when you just have like information overload and you can't manage everything in your head, and organizing your head just becomes incredibly difficult. That was one thing I was kind of struggling with, and it's a little better now. I've gotten kind of a little more organized, especially after chatting with a lot of friends and people I know. But I want to get into one of the biggest things that a lot of you guys will probably experience. When developing games, you'll realize that making a game is not the same as knowing the engine. Making a fun game is hard. It's not easy. And I've known this for years, but the tricky part is also to make games not depending on the genre. So I've made so many different games, and each game has kind of differed from each other. So the first game I made was like a turn-based RPG, 2D. A lot of the other games I made were also 2D. This game, SoulForge, is 3D. It's my very first big 3D project. And one of the issues I found, and that I got a lot of feedback from people, was that the game just sucks. It wasn't very enjoyable. A lot of people were playing it, and they were kind of going through the motion, but it wasn't very fun. There were so many aspects to the game that weren't working or executed very well. I also realized that making a Souls-like is very difficult, especially alone. So I'm gonna continue doing this game. I'm gonna continue developing it, but I'm gonna have to make sure I limit myself on certain things and be careful not to overscope, basically. Now, one of the things that I struggled with recently is the corruption system. So as you guys might know, in SoulForge, you have a blade. I feel like I've said this so many times. You have a sword, a blade that you find in the very first like 5 minutes of the game. It's like after the tutorial. You find the sword and it has its own consciousness. It's alive and it tries to corrupt you. Like, it kind of reveals that a little bit. It's kind of an evil sword. It's basically like Rost from League. And it tries to corrupt you over time. Now, the way it corrupts you is through abilities. When you use its abilities, it'll corrupt you. Now, that might change. We'll see. But at the moment, the problem was that the corruption system itself didn't feel there. It wasn't present. Like, you didn't feel corrupted at all. There were like 2 or 3 shaders. A lot of you guys kept suggesting like 2D shaders, and I had them, but it just wasn't enough, and it didn't feel like you were getting corrupted. Furthermore, a lot of the shaders I had were just frustrating to play with. Like, you'd see them, they would come, and then it was just like, I don't like this. Like, it's just shit. So I had to think of a way to make that feeling of you getting corrupted, but also not interfering with the gameplay too much. So I did this with 2 solutions. The first solution was kind of not mine. Well, I just didn't do it. So I hired a 2D artist, to remake the HUD. I think the UI for the HP bar and all that stuff, it was okay before, but it was a free asset. So you guys could probably find it online. It's on like freegameart.org, and it sucked, right? It kind of just wasn't really good. It didn't really fit the theme of the game. So I got a UI artist to remake it, and now this is what it looks like, which is pretty good. And there are 4 stages for the corruption. So the first stage is like 0% corruption. You're not corrupted at all. And then it kind of just slowly goes up to 75% and up. And it looks pretty good now. So now you actually see visually that you are getting corrupted. And obviously there is also the corruption meter. While there are no numbers, you can kind of guess how much you are corrupted. Now, the other aspect of this, I got inspiration from Hellblade 2. Apparently this game sucks, or at least it was not as good as the first game. But I really liked the audio. When I didn't play it, I just kind of listened to some gameplay, and I really, really enjoyed the audio. It kind of felt weird in an aspect, which I kind of liked. So I decided to add that into my game. So when you get corrupted, there's a few sound effects, and I will probably add an option in the settings to disable some of them, because I can understand how some of them might get like a little annoying. But basically we hear whispers, we hear some breathing effects, and a heartbeat. I think the heartbeat is actually really cool. It almost feels like you're feeling the heartbeat. Now for the whispers, well, everything is directional sound. So the heartbeat and the breathing you feel from down here. So from like the lower side of the screen, which you would end up hearing on both sides of your ears, obviously. And then the whispers, I'm trying to make it so that it's from right to left a little bit. Now, I'm not sure if I want it completely right to left, just like in Hellblade, but we'll kind of experiment with that as well. And I'll probably play a clip here for you guys so you guys can hear it. Now, there have been a lot of other things that I've been struggling with in the game, but that was probably one of the biggest things. Now, another one, obviously, you guys probably know, marketing. Marketing is very, very difficult for a lot of indie devs. I'm trying to push this game on my own without a publisher. So as you can imagine, it's much more difficult than you might think, maybe. I don't know. It's not easy. And so the way I'm doing this is mostly through social media. I know people will like to push their games on Reddit and Twitter and stuff. I found Twitter not working very well. Reddit sometimes has worked on a few posts. To be honest, I don't use Reddit that much, so I'm not really sure how it works very well in terms of like the algo and stuff. But I need to learn. so that's something I still need to do. But in terms of social media, my socials are starting to perform a little better. If you guys have been following my channel on my shorts, you guys see the exact same content that's being pushed onto Instagram and TikTok. But I'm kind of focused on Instagram and TikTok, especially, specifically the growth on there. And it's been tough, I will say. But more recently, my videos have been starting to perform a little better. One of my videos hit over 100K on both Insta and YouTube, which is very cool. I've never gotten that before, so that was a very big success, I would say. Now, obviously, this is kind of advice or a warning to some of you guys. If you guys are considering content creation or making videos as a form of marketing, to be honest, I wouldn't do short form content very much. Or if you do, I wouldn't suggest doing it the way I do. The way I do it is a lot more time consuming and very demanding. And it takes away a lot of my time from SoulForge. I can kind of allow that because I wouldn't say I have the time, but I have very good time management. And so I'm able to kind of fit in that thing of doing that. But the results are not great. That's the reason I don't recommend it, is because a lot of the views I get don't result in wish lists because it just doesn't inspire confidence or interest in my game. There's a lot of really good devs out there that have done video stuff, and you can take inspo from them. To be honest, mostly just posting your game and gameplay clips is probably one of the best ways. Now, the reason this is good, but also bad at the same time, is because when it's good on the aspect that if your game, it looks good, then people are going to look at it and be like, wow, this game looks so cool, so let's try it. So they look for your game and then they want to wishlist it and then try it. Now, the problem, at least for me, is my game just doesn't look good. It doesn't look visually appealing. One, it's a dark fantasy, which I think by default will look a little worse because it's darker and just doesn't have that eye candy. And the second aspect is that the game is actually not that good. It's not very unique. The assets are pre-bought, so none of the assets are actually unique. The character is unique. Most of the characters are unique. But as you can see, like, my game is just not that appealing, which is totally fine. I'm not like trying to be like a downer about it, but I do want to use what I can, right? I think that is important to kind of realize your abilities and what you can and can't do. But yeah, so that is the disadvantage of creating videos about it. So the way I do it is I try to kind of have some storytelling in my videos to get people interested in more so the process of me making the game rather than the game itself. Which, of course, the downside is that most people probably won't be interested in the actual game. Now, on the topic of marketing, since if you guys are watching this video, go check out the links down below, specifically the Kickstarter. If you guys are watching before June 24, maybe even a little after, I'll kind of tell you guys my plan. So this is probably a little too early. I wouldn't suggest this, but I don't know. I'm going guns in, I guess. So I'm launching my Kickstarter on June 24, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put a text over my head. But yeah, it should be June 24. And yeah, if you guys are interested or if you guys want to support me, go check out the Kickstarter. It would be very, very much appreciated. You guys can go check out the Kickstarter link and hit the notify me on launch. That would be very helpful. Or you guys can join my Discord or my email list for my game. So yeah, in terms of the marketing aspect, I'm going to be pushing out my Kickstarter very soon. Or when you guys see this video, I'll be pushing it out. But yeah, the Kickstarter will be hopefully launched soon. Now, in terms of monetary value, I'm going to go for probably 10,000 Canadian dollars. Canadian. Kanaka-dollar. I don't know if that's a word. That's not a word. I think when Canada was first found, actually, it was called Kanaka, which is why I kind of say that. But anyways, but now this sounds very bad, and I know a lot of you guys are going to go, oh my God, Omar, you can't be doing that with that attitude. I kind of expect it to fail. I would be surprised if it exceeds expectation. If I could hit the goal, but I am a little doubtful, I guess is the right word, that I'll hit my goal or above it, which is fine. I think it's all a learning experience. So making the Kickstarter was exhausting. I spent like a few weeks on it, writing out everything, putting all the images. I still need to replace some of the images with new GIFs and stuff. But that's okay. If I fail this one, which happens a lot of the time for game developers, I'll probably relaunch in a few months. So if you guys are watching this video in the future, check out my video. Check it out if I did fail. Maybe I'll be relaunching in the future if you are watching, or just go buy my game. I don't know how far in the future you'll be watching this, but and yeah, that's kind of it. That's my plan for the Kickstarter. I feel like I've just been sitting here talking to you guys for 15 minutes now. It'll probably be shorter for you guys. I'm going to edit out a lot of the dead space. Let me know what do you guys think of this format a little more. I don't really have anything noted down or jotted down to like talk about. I kind of just had some issues and I wanted to share them with you guys. Then a bit more of a chill tone as well. It's also morning for me, so half my family is still asleep, so I can't really be screaming my head off for you guys as much as I usually do. Although another aspect that I've been thinking about is this channel. So some of you guys are probably game developers like me, and you watch my tutorials. You're probably on this channel from my tutorials. Vast majority of my videos have been from tutorials, or have been tutorials, so a lot of you guys are probably here from those. The tutorial I posted was about 2 months ago, maybe 2.5. I really did want to go back to it this last week, but I got super busy and kind of lazy and procrastinated. I'm going to try again this week. I might try doing some more general tutorials, so like level design. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So yeah, anyway, let me complete that sentence. So I might do some like level design tutorials, like maybe how to build this level in 3D, because I know there's not actually many tutorials like that on YouTube for 3D level creation in Godot, because a lot of people will expect to use 3D grid map, but it's kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie. 3D grid, I don't use it. I don't use the 3D grid map. I tried it first, and it was not good. It did not work. So yeah, if you guys want a tutorial on that, comment down below. Let me know. I might do it anyways, but do let me know in the comments if you guys would like it. It would be very helpful to know what you guys want. So yeah, on that topic, that's another thing I realized. A lot of the level design in my game at the moment is really shit. I was talking with a friend about this, and one of the things I used to do when I used to make 2D games like way back was I used to just make a square and then fill it out with props. And that was my level design. It was pretty shit, you know? You'd expect so. And obviously that's not going to work here. So in this dungeon crawler, it's a 3D game. I have to be a bit more creative, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably play some games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, maybe take some inspiration, even 2D games, maybe. I'm going to try taking some inspiration and just redoing my levels. So right now I have 3, 4 if you include the tutorial. I might not redo the tutorial. We'll see. I could. I think the tutorial will be last though. Maybe. I'm going to redo the other stuff though, because it is more important. Just because one of the things that Lilu told me. And so by the way, guys, I'm working on this game with Lilu. He's another YouTuber. Go check him out. I'll put his channel in the description. Go check him out. He makes really cool VFX stuff. If you guys want to learn how to make virtual effects or visual effects, not virtual, go check out his channel. It's really good. His stuff is gold for Godot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can get some ASMR coffee. Nah, I'm kidding. I'll probably cut that out. So yeah, I'm gonna just redo some of the levels in my game. I realized they were not good at the moment. It kind of just feels like a mess. It feels like a bunch of stuff slapped onto the game, which was actually kind of the vibe I was going for a little bit. Like, I wanted to kind of go for a vibe of rocks just fell down and created random debris, which is kind of what it feels like, but it's not fun to play. So I'm gonna have to change it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's my next plan for SoulForge. And then after that, I'll probably finally get into the boss AI. That's something I've been trying to do for the last 2 months. We're trying to find time to do, but I kept falling into different problems and adjusting the game or kind of cleaning up the demo and the game and stuff like that. So yeah, another thing is the skill tree. I should have mentioned this way before. With the artist that I got, I also got him to make a skill tree, a Kickstarter. So he should be on the bottom of the page if you guys want to check him out. Yeah, he makes really cool stuff. The voice actor Kuchinatsu is also really good. You guys can check her out if you guys need a voice actor for your game. She's very good. She's very talented. Has a few different voices she could do. For me, she's actually the voice actor for the sword. So Evelyn, or yeah, that's this name. That's the name of the sword. And the little girl. The model for the little girl has also been remade by Lilu, which I've mentioned already. And yeah, so go check out my small team. Not really a team, but people I'm helping me make this game. So go check them out. I really appreciate every one of them. They're very, very helpful and very supportive. And yeah, that is pretty much it. This devlog has been very long, probably. I've been yapping for about 20 minutes. Hopefully I'll cut it down to at least 15, maybe a little less. And let me know if you guys want more content like this, because I think this is a little easier for me to make in terms of devlog. And I could probably do this like once a week where I'm just kind of sitting and chatting with you guys. Anyways, that is it for me. I got to get ready for school. I got school to finish, and I'll see you guys later. Also, I'm bald. I cut my hair. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm like fucking, I'm going to grow it out again. Give me another year. It'll grow out and I'll have it like to my ears. All right. Peace.